Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to all of you. Here in this session, we are going to implement a very simple problem of artificial intelligence, and the name is Chatbot. Chatbot, basically it is a very important Python program, you can say, in AI, via which we can enhance the output of any business. It is a business solution. You can implement the chatbot in real life in various scopes. Let's say any particular website is there, so to interact your customers, you can use the chatbot. To deliver their responses, you can use chatbot, so that if any customer is having any queries, you can resolve his or her queries 24 into 7, so that you can save the cost. So it is one of the way via which you can save the cost effectivities, and it is, you can say, that much more efficient than manual query resolver, right? So let's start that in AI using Python without using any libraries, how can you create, so that you can go through the depth of knowledge of Python, right? Basically, I am going to tell you here that without using any Python libraries or any Python packages, how you are going to implement it. And the questions of user or the question of any person might be in lowercase or uppercase. In both the cases, answer should be there. And customer or user may use some special symbols. So we also have to resolve this issue, right? So let's start. So first of all, I would like to say that we are predefining some set of questions. It depends on you, and you can define these questions as much as you want. So here you can say that we are just defining a list of questions, and for that, a very simple variable, that is questions, we are using, and inside this we have put some 5 questions here. That what is your name, how old are you, what is your favorite color, what is your favorite animal, and what is your favorite food. This is set of predefined questions. On this, we are defining list of responses. So the list of responses is that if the first question is, let's say, what is your name, it is going to answer, my name is RJ Chatbot, nice to meet you. If the question is, how old are you, it is going to answer, I am artificial intelligence, so I don't have age. If it is going to ask, user is going to ask, what is your favorite color, it is going to say, let's say, my favorite color is blue. What is your favorite animal? I like all animals, but if I had to choose, I would say dogs are my favorite. And let's say, what is your favorite food? It would say, I like all kinds of food, but if I have to choose, I would say sushi is my favorite. So basically, these responses in these questions we have predefined. You can define these questions according to your choice. You can increase them, you can decrease them, and you can set the responses according to your own, right? This is your completely your choice. So we have to first define questions, and we have to define responses in the same sequence. In the same sequence, let's say, if what is your name, first is, my name is RJ Chatbot and nice to meet you. So in the same sequence, we have to write the responses, right? Thereafter, I'm going to tell you that how to iterate over the correct question and its correct response. So right now, you have to define these pre-defined questions and their correct responses sequence wise. I hope it is clear. Now, let's move. What I am doing, we are defining an input function, get input function, and you know that why we use get input function, to take input from user. So we are defining a function here for taking the input from user, and thereafter what we are doing, you can see here that return input is for taking input from user, and thereafter inside it we are asking what is your question, so that user can understand that it is asking for any question, and we are going to convert that question into lowercase. Dot lower is, we are going to convert that particular question into lowercase, so that if user is going to put the question in uppercase, or it is user is going to put the question in lowercase, answer should be same, right? So it's like that. You can understand that if user is writing, let's say, what is your name, or if user is writing, like, let's say, what is your name, right? I hope you can figure out the differences between them. Either the W is uppercase, or here you can say that W is lowercase. So in both the cases, you can say that uh, the chatbot is going to respond, right? That is why the lower, it is going to convert your input into the lowercase, right? Okay. Next one is we are defining a function to check that whether the input that is given by the user is definitely a question or not. So how to verify it? So again, we have created a function. So basically this def is a keyword. You already know that this def is a keyword which is going to, we define this def keyword to define any function, any function. So here the function name is question. So our function name, so what we are going to do, our practice is like we are going to define some functions there, and we are going to use driver function, and from that particular main loop we are going to call each and every function on their requirement. So right now we have taken the user's input, and now we are checking what we are checking, particular question, particular input is question or not. So for that is question, and here it is a parameter input text. So if our input text is having, it is ending with question mark, return input text dot end with, what it is going to check, that particular question. Let's say anybody has typed what is your name, and at the last, let's say they are missing this question mark. So it is not going to treat it as a question. We must have question mark at the end, right? This is the thing that it is going to check, that whether the particular input is question or not. The function that we have created is manual function. It is our own function. It is not a library built. It is our own. We can create it according to our own requirement. So here def is a keyword for creating a function. Function name is question, and inside one parameter, that is input text. It is going to check whether our input text is ending with question mark. If it is so, it is going to check, it is going to assure, it is going to ensure that it is 100% a question. Now what next? We are again defining one more function, and this function is, we are going to check that whether user's particular input contains any specific keyword or not. It may be exclamatory marks, it may be question mark, it may be anything that can be any specified keyword. For checking it, what we are doing, we are creating again one function, and the function name is content keyword. Here we are using two parameters, input text, the text that is going to be entered by the user, and keyword. So keyword is by default, you know that Python interpreter is having their list of different keyword. So it is going to return the keyword into the input text. So whatever keyword user is going to specify into input text, it is going to recognize with the help of this function whose name is contain keyword. After that, one more function we are creating, and it is very important. You can say that it is the crux, because here we are defining the function, creating a function for getting a response from the user's input. So basically function creating the function name is get response, and here parameter input text. So that particular question will be here, that is asked by the user. Now if user is input is question, and it is going to check by here, how it is going to check here. If user's input is a question, then it is going to find the matching response for it. And how it is going to find the matching response for it, this if is question input text, it means that if this parameter is going to be true, because if loop is there, this question is true, it means that at the end, if it is the question mark 100%, question is true. In that case, for I in range, so we are using for loop here, and we are iterating now. We are iterating for that particular input text in this block, in this block, right? So let's say user have put what is your name. Let's say user have entered what is your name. So it is going to be iterated on ith value of 0, right? Getting it? Because we are starting the value of I from 0. It depends from interpreter to interpreter as well. So basically this for loop is going to iterate all the questions. Let's say user have answered what is the capital of Delhi, what is the capital of India. Let's say user is asking what is the capital of India. In that case, it is going to iterate for that particular question, and up to what particular position it is going to iterate. I in range alien. So basically alien is a name which is going to return the length, is going to return the number of items in that particular container whose name is questions. So let's say here 5 questions are there. So it is going to iterate only 5 times. What is the capital of India? No, it is not that. What is the capital of India? What is capital of India? What is capital of India? And what is capital of India? It means that that particular iteration checked all the questions, but that particular input text is nowhere existed. In that case, it is not going to be part of the response, and by default some response we are going to print for it, that it can be anything, right? So it can be, let's say, I am sorry, I didn't understand your question. When it is going to be so, when the question that is asked by the user is not existed in all our libraries, in our container of the questions we have predefined, right? But let's say user has put some question which is already existed in our library, so it is going to iterate in particular container. So let's say user have asked, how old are you? How old are you? So what it is going to do, it is going to compare with the first question. It is not so, because the text which is asked by user, how old are you, is not matching with this. So it is going to match with this, how old are you equals to how old are you. It is going to be true. So if it is going to be true, then we need to give the response. So if container contains keyword, it means that the question that is asked by the user contains in that particular container. Now we need to provide the response. So that's, let's see how how we are providing the solution. Input text dot comma question, and here we are using I. I is the variable, and it is going to put 1. If we are starting the loop from 0, if we are starting the loop from 0, then this I will be 1, because it will be true on 1. Because let's say, how old are you? Is this so? So at the value of I equals to 0, it is not so. So at the I values will be incremented by 1, because we are using for loop. So at I value of 1, how old are you? Yes, input text match with the question. So the value of I is 1. So what it is going to do, input text, the question I, that is first question number, iteration 1 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So, and it is going to convert that particular question into the lowercase, and it is going to respond for the particular index 1. Because if we are starting our indexing from 1, you already know that indexing start from 0. So if we are having our question at iteration 1, the value of I is 1. So which response will be written? Which is at index 1, which is at index 1. So at index 1, which response we are having? At index 0, my name is RJ Chatbot. Nice to meet you. At index 1, I am an artificial intelligence, so I don't have age. It is at index 1. It is at index 1. Correct. So it is going to be written here. This is the thing. I hope these things are very much clear. If you are having doubt, you can ask in comment section, guys, that we are having doubt or confusion here, so we can explain some more little bit, right? Okay, now if that particular question you are not going to get in complete iteration, it is going to return, I am sorry, I didn't understand your question. This is the thing, right? Now this is the main loop from where we are going to start the programming while true, so that if the condition is true, it is going to work, and the condition is true. So if user is going to give the input, thereafter this loop is going to work, and this is our main loop. So this is only going to work when user is going to put some input. So if user is going to put some input, it is going to call user input. User input is a function. Get input. So we are going to be here, get input, right? Get input. Get input is a function. It is going to call from here, and all the particular thing will run, which I have explained, right? Now, if user is going to put exit, in that particular case, we are going to do the break. You know the break keyword in the Python, it is going to go out of the loop, right? So we will be completely out of the program if user is putting exit keyword, right? And we are going to get the user's input from response, and if response is going to call anywhere, let's say here responses, so what responses will going to do, it is going to call the function get response, and this get response will call the particular answer, particular response for that particular input, right? Using this iteration method which I have explained here, and thereafter that is going to print the response. Now let's run it so that you will better understand it. So I am running this Python program, and first of all, I will put a question which is not in the library, right? So if it is not in the library, it should put, I am sorry, I don't understand your question. So let's say, let me try to put some question which is not in the library. So what is the capital of America? So I am sorry, I didn't understand your question. Could you please rephrase it? Right. So it is saying like this. Now let me put which is in the library. So you know some questions are there which is in the library. What is your name? So I am writing what is your name and then question mark. So you can see my name is RJ Chatbot. Nice to meet you. And this time what I am doing, I am putting this first letter in lowercase. What is your name? And you can check. My name is RJ Chatbot. Nice to meet you. One more time, let's check. What is your name? And you can see that this time I didn't put the question mark, so it doesn't recognize the name question because we have used a very important part here that if you end with the question mark, it is going to be treated as a question. Right? I hope things are very much clear and it is going to be clear one by one. However, up to this part, I hope everything is clear. And it is not about only what is your name. You can put something, let's say, what is your favorite food? You can type what is your uh, like, favorite food, and you can just see I like all kinds of food, but if I had to choose, I would say sushi is my favorite. Right? So is iterated this question when I am going to ask when user is going to ask this particular question that what is your favorite food, right? What is your favorite food? So if we are going to type what is your favorite, let's say color. So it will say my favorite color is blue. So it checked here, not it checked here, not matched. It checked here, it matched. It means that at iteration of I, value of I is a 0, not matched. I equals to 1, not matched. I equals to 2, it is matched. So it is going to iterate 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2. So my favorite color is blue. So this is how this for loop is working. So the crux of the particular program is that you can create your own chatbot just by creating some questions and some responses which is predefined. We haven't used any predefined libraries or any predefined packages of Python here, so that you have understood the basic depth of Python concepts, what concepts we are using. So we have just used simple concepts like functions, like if else loop, like for loop, like conditional statements, and like how to define function and how to call function and how to define parameters inside it. So very depth knowledge of Python you are going to get, and without using any package or any library, we have created our own chatbot. So you can create this chatbot for your own website, for your own business, so that you can respond your customers query live and 24 into 7. You can cut the cost of your budget and you can save the money and you can invest it for more research and development purposes. I hope all the things that I have explained here is very much clear to all of you. Further, if you are having any doubt or any confusion or any query, please feel free to ask. Thank you so much. Have a very nice day and stay tuned with us for more such kind of videos and lectures day by day. Thank you so much, guys. Have a very happy new year to all of you. Enjoy the lecture. Thank you so much.